The secret language your cat uses when you talk to them. I'm James Mitchell, feline relationship coach. My goal is to help you build a deeper bond of love and trust with your cat, one secret at a time. Welcome to Cat Senses, where we unlock the mysteries of feline behavior and strengthen the invisible threads that connect you to your furry companion. Your cat just tilted their head. They're staring right at you with those mysterious eyes. You just finished telling them about your terrible day at work, and something incredible just happened. They didn't meow back, they didn't purr, but they did something far more meaningful. They listened with their entire being. What I'm about to reveal will completely transform how you understand your feline friend. The truth is, your cat has been having deep conversations with you for years. You've just been missing their side of the dialogue. This isn't just another cat video. This is your invitation to discover a hidden world of communication that exists right under your nose. And I guarantee you, once you understand what's really happening when you speak to your cat, you'll never look at those quiet moments the same way again. But first, let me ask you something important. If you've ever felt that special connection with your cat, that moment when they seem to truly see you, hit that like button right now and subscribe to Cat Senses, because this community is for people who know their cats are more than just pets, they're family. The sound waves your cat actually hears. When you open your mouth to speak, your cat doesn't hear what you think they hear. While you're forming words, sentences, and complete thoughts, your feline companion is experiencing something entirely different. They're not processing language the way we do. Instead, they're absorbing something much more fundamental, the emotional frequency of your voice. Think of it like this. If your words were a river, your cat isn't paying attention to the individual drops of water. They're feeling the current, the temperature, the rhythm of the flow. Your voice becomes a living map of your inner world. Every time you speak, you're broadcasting on multiple channels simultaneously. There's the channel of words that humans understand, but there's also the channel of tone, the channel of energy, the channel of emotional texture. Your cat is tuned exclusively to those deeper frequencies. This is why you can say "I love you" in a harsh, angry tone and watch your cat retreat. Conversely, you can speak complete nonsense in a gentle, loving voice and see them approach with trust and affection. The words themselves carry no weight in their world. It's the emotional signature that matters. The incredible range of feline hearing. Let me share something that will blow your mind about your cat's ears. They can detect sounds up to 64,000 hertz. That's nearly 3 times the range of human hearing. When you speak, they're not just hearing your voice. They're hearing the whisper of air through your lips, the subtle changes in your breathing pattern, even the tiny vibrations in your throat. Your cat's ears are like sophisticated recording equipment, picking up nuances that completely escape human detection. They hear the nervousness in your voice before you realize you're nervous. They detect the exhaustion in your tone before you acknowledge you're tired. Don't forget to share this video with someone who loves cats as much as you do. They need to know this information too. This extraordinary hearing ability means that every conversation with your cat is actually a multi-layered experience. While you're focused on the words you're saying, your cat is simultaneously processing the pitch variations in your voice, the rhythm and pace of your speech, the tension or relaxation in your vocal cords, the emotional undertones you didn't even know you were expressing, the consistency or changes from your usual speaking patterns. Memory, the foundation of feline connection. Cats possess what scientists call associative long-term memory. This isn't just about remembering where the food bowl is located. This is about creating emotional archives that span years. Every time you speak to your cat with love, patience, or joy, you're making a deposit in their memory bank. They're not just hearing you in that moment, they're building a comprehensive library of your emotional states, your vocal patterns, your energy signatures. Your cat remembers the way you sounded when you came home excited about good news. They remember your voice when you were sick and spoke more softly than usual. They remember the specific tone you used when you were worried about something important. These memories don't fade like human memories do. They become part of your cat's understanding of who you are as a person. Your voice becomes a cornerstone of their sense of security and belonging in the world. Recognition, your voice in a crowd. Research has shown something remarkable about feline voice recognition. In controlled studies, cats were played recordings of various human voices saying identical phrases. While they showed little to no response to strangers' voices, they consistently turned toward recordings of their own humans. But here's what makes this even more fascinating. Your cat isn't recognizing your voice the way you might recognize a friend's voice. They're not thinking, "Oh, that's Sarah calling me." Instead, they're experiencing something more like, "That's the sound of home. That's the frequency of safety. That's the voice that belongs to my world." If this is making you realize how deep your connection with your cat really is, show some love by hitting that subscribe button and joining the Cat Senses community. Your cat has essentially memorized the unique acoustic fingerprint of your voice. They know the exact way your voice sounds when you're happy and relaxed, stressed or anxious, calling them for dinner, speaking to other humans, talking specifically to them, feeling unwell or tired. The weather system of emotions. To your cat, your voice functions like an emotional weather report. They're constantly monitoring changes in your vocal climate, detecting shifts that indicate different atmospheric conditions in your world. When your voice carries the warmth of contentment, they feel sunshine. When stress creeps into your tone, they sense approaching storm clouds. When sadness colors your words, they experience the emotional equivalent of a gentle rain. This is why cats often respond to our emotional states before we've even fully acknowledged them ourselves. They're reading the forecast in our voices while we're still trying to figure out what we're feeling. Your cat doesn't need to understand your problems to respond to your emotional needs. They simply recognize the change in atmospheric pressure and adjust their behavior accordingly. This might mean coming closer when they sense you need comfort, giving you space when they detect you need solitude, becoming more playful when they hear joy in your voice, growing quiet and still when they sense sadness or stress. The art of vocal mirroring. Something extraordinary happens when cats live with humans for extended periods. They begin to develop vocal patterns that mirror our communication styles. You might notice that your cat has developed specific meows that seem designed for different situations. The hungry meow sounds different from the greeting meow, which sounds different from the attention-seeking meow. This isn't accidental, it's adaptation. Your cat is learning to speak your language, not with words, but with intentional sounds that produce specific responses from you. They're becoming bilingual, maintaining their natural feline communication while developing a secondary vocabulary designed specifically for human interaction. Take a moment to think about your cat's different meows. Comment below and tell us about the unique sounds your cat makes just for you. The silent language of response. While we've been focusing on what cats hear when we speak, the real magic happens in how they respond. Feline communication is predominantly nonverbal, and their responses to our voices are masterclasses in subtle expression. The slow blink conversation. When you speak lovingly to your cat and they respond with slow, deliberate blinks, you're witnessing one of the most profound forms of feline communication. These aren't random blinks, they're intentional gestures of trust and affection. In the feline world, closing one's eyes in the presence of another creature is a sign of complete vulnerability and trust. When your cat slow blinks at you while you're speaking, they're essentially saying, "I trust you completely. I feel safe in your presence. Your voice brings me peace." Body language as punctuation. Your cat's physical responses to your voice serve as punctuation marks in your ongoing conversation. When you speak and they tilt their head, they're actively focusing on the emotional content of your voice. Rotate their ears toward you. They're giving you their complete auditory attention. Approach slowly. They're accepting your invitation into shared emotional space. Settle nearby. They're choosing to remain in your vocal presence. Rub against you. They're responding to your voice with physical affirmation. The architecture of emotional memory. Your cat's brain doesn't just store individual memories of your voice, it creates comprehensive emotional landscapes. Every interaction builds upon previous experiences, creating rich, textured understanding of who you are as a person. When you come home and call out your usual greeting, your cat isn't just hearing those words in isolation. They're accessing a vast database of associated memories, emotions, and sensory experiences connected to that specific sound pattern. Your voice becomes intertwined with the scent of your skin, the sound of your footsteps, the time of day you typically arrive, the emotional atmosphere you usually carry, the subsequent actions that typically follow your greeting. Comfort in times of distress. One of the most remarkable aspects of feline-human communication is how cats respond to human emotional distress. They don't understand the concept of comfort in human terms, but they excel at providing exactly what we need: steady, non-judgmental presence. When you're upset and speaking through tears, your cat doesn't try to fix your problems or offer advice. Instead, they offer something more valuable: witness. They stay. They listen with their entire being. They become a living anchor in your emotional storm. Share this video with someone who needs to understand how much their cat really cares about them. Many cat owners report that their normally independent cats become surprisingly attentive during difficult times. This isn't coincidence, it's responsive behavior. Your cat is reading the distress signals in your voice and adjusting their behavior to provide emotional stability. The sacred moments of perfect understanding. There are moments in every deep human-cat relationship when something transcendent happens. You're speaking to your cat, pouring out your heart, and suddenly you feel truly heard. Not understood in the intellectual sense, but acknowledged in the deepest possible way. These moments often happen when you're feeling particularly vulnerable and your cat chooses to come closer. You're speaking softly and your cat mirrors your calm energy. You're experiencing strong emotions and your cat provides steady, grounding presence. You finish speaking and your cat responds with a specific vocalization or gesture that feels like acknowledgement. Building deeper connection through voice. Understanding how your cat processes your voice opens up new possibilities for strengthening your relationship. Here are ways to optimize your vocal communication. Consistency in tone. Cats thrive on predictability. Using consistent tones for different types of interactions helps your cat build clearer associations and respond more appropriately to your vocal cues. Matching energy levels. If you want your cat to feel calm, speak calmly. If you want to engage their playful side, let some energy and excitement color your voice. Cats are expert emotional mirrors. They'll often match the energy you project. Creating vocal rituals. Develop specific vocal patterns for different activities. Use a particular tone and rhythm when calling them for meals, a different vocal style for playtime, and another for quiet bonding moments. Don't forget to like this video if you're learning something new about your feline friend. Respecting their responses. Pay attention to how your cat responds to different vocal approaches. If they consistently move away when you use a particular tone, that's valuable feedback about their preferences and comfort levels. The science behind feline emotional intelligence. Recent research has revealed that cats possess far more emotional intelligence than previously understood. They can distinguish between different human emotional states, adjust their behavior based on human emotional needs, form complex associative memories linking human voices with emotional experiences, develop personalized communication strategies for individual humans. This scientific understanding validates what many cat owners have always known intuitively. Our cats are deeply emotionally intelligent creatures who form profound bonds with their human companions. Beyond words, the future of your relationship. As you continue to speak to your cat, remember that every conversation is building something beautiful and lasting. You're not just making sounds, you're creating a shared emotional vocabulary that exists only between the two of you. Your voice becomes part of your cat's sense of home, security, and belonging. In return, their silent responses, their physical presence, their steady companionship during your most vulnerable moments, these become your anchor in a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable. The invisible thread that connects you. The relationship between your voice and your cat's response creates an invisible thread of communication that transcends species barriers. This thread is woven from consistent emotional presence, patient, unconditional acceptance, mutual respect for different communication styles, shared moments of vulnerability and trust, the gradual building of a unique, personal language. Comment below and tell us about the most amazing moment of connection you've experienced with your cat. Your story might help someone else understand their feline friend better. Your voice as a gift. Every time you speak to your cat, you're offering them something precious, your authentic emotional presence. You're saying, I see you as worthy of my attention, my affection, my trust. In a world where cats often feel overlooked or understood, your voice becomes a daily gift of recognition and love. Your cat may not understand your words, but they understand your heart. They know the difference between genuine affection and casual acknowledgement. They can sense when your words are backed by real emotion versus when you're just going through the motions. The lasting impact of your voice. Years from now, when you call your cat's name, you won't just be making a sound. You'll be activating a vast network of positive memories, emotional associations, and trust that has been built conversation by day. Your voice will remain their compass in moments of uncertainty, their source of comfort during stress, and their reminder that they are loved, valued, and truly seen. Subscribe to Cat Senses right now if you want to keep discovering the hidden depths of your relationship with your cat. We're just getting started on this journey together. So the next time you speak to your feline companion, remember that you're not just talking to a pet. You're engaging in a profound form of interspecies communication that bridges different worlds, different ways of processing reality, different expressions of love and loyalty. Your cat has been answering you all along. In blanks, in approaches, in the choice to remain in your presence, in the gentle pressure of a paw against your hand. They've been speaking the only language they've ever needed, the one that exists in the spaces between words, in the silence that holds more meaning than speech ever could. Keep talking to your cat. Keep sharing your voice, your presence, your authentic self. Because somewhere in the rhythm of your words and the melody of your emotions, something magical is happening. A conversation is taking place that doesn't need translation, doesn't need explanation, and doesn't need anything more than what it already is. Perfect, wordless understanding between two souls who chose to share the same space, the same silence, and the same love. Thank you for joining me on Cat Senses. Until next time, may you always hear what your cat has been saying all along. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this video with every cat lover in your life. Together, we're building a community of people who understand that the most meaningful conversations are often the ones spoken in silence.